Om Namah Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, wanting to seek the blessings of Radha Madhav, Radha Shyam Sundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, the Singh Bhagwan, Jagannath, Baladev Subhadra, Shishi Gaunitai, Tulsimani, Haridas Thakur, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So we've reached Canto 10, the Summon Bowman. This is the goal, really, of reading the Bhagavatam. Cantos 1 to 9 is very important. Prabhupada warned us not to jump straight to the 10th canto, because 10th canto is all about Krishna's pastimes. But we need to understand, go through the purificatory process of the first 9 cantos. And a very quick summary of the 9 cantos. So for Canto 1 and 2, the first 2 cantos of Bhagavatam, considered to be the Lord's lotus feet, and form the prelude to the rest of the scripture by introducing us to its key philosophical concepts and prominent characters. These cantos also establish Bhakti Yoga as the topmost spiritual path and Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of all incarnations. In these cantos, there are descriptions of many wonderful prayers by devotees, the Lord's reciprocation with them, the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, the activities of Maharaj chastising Kali, the history of the Bhagavatam, the circumstances in which the scriptures made its appearance, the process of creation, the Virat Rup, which is the universal form, Chaturusloki, which is like the main 4 or 5 verses which form the basis of Bhagavatam, and the definition of the 10 topics of the Bhagavatam. These are the main topics. Cantos 3 and 4 correspond to the Lord's thighs, predominantly discusses the topics of primary and secondary creation through the conversation of Vidur and Maitreya. The third canto describes a variegated range of topics that include the following: creation by the Lord, sub-creation by Brahma and his sons, time, embryology, family life, Sankhya, Bhakti, Astanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. The spiritual world is described, and also the material world, and also hell. The third canto, there are prominent episodes, pastimes of Lord Varaha, descriptions of Vaikuntha and Lord Vishnu, the interaction of Kashyap and Aditi, the household life of Kardam, Muni and Devahuti, teachings of Lord Kapil. They form a central part of Canto 3. He was the son of Kardam Muni and Devahuti, but also the Supreme Lord. The fourth canto is very rich in its content, where Maitreya continues to describe the family lines of Swambhu Manu, his descendants. Manu had 3 daughters and 2 sons, Devahuti, Akuti, Pashuti, and the sons Uttanpad and Priyavrat. There are many admired personalities veiled in this canto: Shiva, Suniti, Dhruv, Ang, Maharaj, Prithu, Pachetas. There are extraordinary examples of bhakti. And we can learn about the unfavorable attitudes in bhakti yoga, devotional service, from the mistakes of the following characters: Daksha, Surichi, Vena, Indra, Prachinabhar, Barhi. The positive transformations undergone by many of these personalities, mainly due to intervention of devotees, add to the glory of bhakti. Canto 5 corresponds to the lotus navel of the Supreme Lord. Here, Sukadeva Goswami continues on the topic of Visarga and describes the dynasty of Priyavrat, the other son of Manu. The latter half of the canto discusses Sthanam, position of various planetary systems within the structure of the universe, or the inhabitation of various living entities. And then there's the wonderful pastimes of Priyavrat and Bharat Maharaj. How could a very advanced devotee fall from his position, forgetting his spiritual practice and engaging in material life? This is the story of the lives of 2 greatly advanced devotees, Priyavrat and King Bharat. Sukadeva Goswami explains that one who is attached to the nectarian honey of the Lord's lotus feet may sometimes be checked by an impediment, but he still never gives up the exalted position he has attained. It's important to understand devotees, when they get to a certain position, the Lord will always protect them no matter what. The dynasty of Priyavrat, he exemplified the spirit of sacrifice, one's personal desire to be obedient to the order of superiors. Although he wanted to be in the renounced order, upon Lord Brahma's request, he took charge of the Father's kingdom without any grudges. He ruled in an exceptional way, dividing Bhumandal into 7 islands and 7 oceans, appointing his sons their rulers, and finally retiring. He showed how devotees achieve great things because they are so surrendered to the all-powerful Lord. But these same devotees, they never take credit. They know the Lord is in charge of everything. Who are we? What can we possibly achieve? Priyavat's son was Agnidhar, whose son Nabi desired the Lord as his son. Thus Rishabdev appeared, who instructed his 100 sons. Bharat Maharaj was the eldest son, and his pastimes, whereby he falls from an elevated position, takes birth as a deer and then a Brahman, are described in some detail. And this is one of the most amazing pastimes. Hearing about the 7 islands created by chariot wheels of Priyavrat, Parikshit inquired about their dimensions and characteristics. Sukadeva Goswami then describes the structure of Bhumandal, beginning with Jambudvip, its 9 tracts of land, Vashas, and its various mountainous ranges. Quite a complex canto. 6th canto corresponds to the chest of the Supreme Lord. This canto represents several interesting episodes centered on the theme of protection offered by the Supreme Lord to his devotees, although they sometimes transgress the laws of Dharma. Hearing about the hellish planets in chapter 26 of Canto 5, compassionate Parikshit inquires from Sukadeva Goswami how the living entities may be saved from entering such hellish conditions. Sukadeva Goswami, to test his disciple, first presented Karmakand, satisfy the demigods, and Jnanakand, learn, as solutions. But seeing Parikshit not satisfied, Sukadeva Goswami presented Bhakti Yoga as the ultimate protection from all sins. And to substantiate this, he told the story of Ajamil Prabhu. The Narayan Kavach is again a phenomenal pastime. Ajamil, amazing pastime. The Narayan Kavach is disclosed to Indra for his protection. The demon Vrittasura's pastimes are described. At his previous life, he was Chitraketu. Canto 7 and 8 correspond to the arms of the Lord. The Lord's apparent partiality. Because at the end of the 6th canto, Sukadeva Goswami described how Vishnu killed the demon in favor of Indra. So Maharaj Parikshit, he was wondering what's going on. He asked about the apparent partiality of Vishnu. How can God favor one and disfavor another? Sukadeva Goswami replied that the Supreme Lord is neutral, impartial, and equal to everyone. He is specially inclined towards his devotees, reciprocating with their devotion. However, even when he punishes and kills the demons, he only benefits them by giving them liberation. This is the Lord's mercy, and even his punishment ultimately is meant to uplift everyone. Sukadev refers to a conversation between Narad Muni and Yudhishthir that took place at the Rajasuya sacrifice. And the entire 7th canto is based on this conversation. Because Yudhishthir saw Shishupal being defeated by Krishna, and he wondered, because he saw the soul of Shishupal enter the body of Krishna, and he wondered what's going on. The pastimes of Prahlad are described as well as the ideal human being, human life. And Prahlad is regarded to be gold standard when it comes to devotees. Amazing behavior. 8th canto of the Bhagavatam prominently presents the theme of Manvantara, or the reign of Manu. The main persons in each of the 14 manvantara in the current age of Brahma are described, and a brief idea of the canto is as follows. Hari protects Gajendra, the king of the elephants, from the attack of a crocodile. The churning of the milk ocean is described. Lord Shiva drinks the poison that comes from the churning. Many gifts come from the ocean, and ultimately this nectar comes, and then Mohini Murti arrives, the female incarnation of God. Then there was the rise of Maharaj Bali, appearance of Vamandev, how Vamandev tricks Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj conquers the Supreme Lord, Vamandev. Then describes the Matsya Avatar, fish incarnation, saves Satyavrat. The 9th canto corresponds to the neck of the Supreme Lord. This canto describes the stories of the Lord's incarnations and various kings in the Sun dynasty and the Moon dynasty. Lots and lots of names of different kings who came are described. Through various stories, the 9th canto describes the dangers of lust, anger, greed, pride, and envy that affected many persons, from the kings up to the demigods, and the power of Maya, illusion. And one can gain determination to take firm shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Sukadeva Goswami first describes kings of the Sun dynasty. Vaivasvata Muni, Sudyamnu, Yamna, born female, converted to male. Prashadra, cursed to be a Shudra. Saryati, Sukanya, Chyavan Muni, Nabhaga Ambarish, Durvasa Muni. This wonderful pastime of Ambarish Maharaj is in this canto. Puranjaya, Yuvana Swa Mandata Saubari. We talked about him yesterday in context with the dynamics of lust. Harishchandra Sagar, sons killed by Kapil. Amshuman. And then we had Bhagirath, who brought Ganga down from the heavens. So Dasha Katwanga, he had one moment to live, and he asked the demigods, when will I die? Oh, immediately. Lord Ramachandra is described in this Canto 9 in King Nimi and Janak. Sukadeva Goswami next describes the king of the Moon dynasty, Soma, Pururava, Urvashi, Gadi, Svarshuram, Kartabirarjun, Yati, Devayani, Sarmista, Dushmant, Bharatvaj, Rantidev. Kauravs are described in very brief detail, Pandavas, and then at the end, Krishna. So, brief overview of the 10th canto. There's 3 forward pastimes. So we're going to split the canto into 3. Vraj pastimes, Mathura pastimes, and Dvaka pastimes. And the vast majority, more than probably about half of the 90 chapters, a bit less maybe, are dedicated to Brajalila. When Krishna's pastime, when he was a child, pastimes that took place. These are the most important. In this canto, there are 90 chapters which describe all these leelas. So chapters 1 to 4 describes Brahma's prayers for the relief of earth's burden. They also describe the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then 35 chapters recounts Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. So at least 1/3, more than 1/3. And then chapter 40 describes how Krishna enjoyed in the water of the Yamuna and how he was taken by a crew to Mathura. Then 41 to 51, Krishna's pastime in Mathura. And then the rest of the canto is dedicated to Krishna's pastimes in Dwaka. Chapters 29 to 33 describe Krishna's dancing with the gopis, known as the Ras Leela. Therefore, these 5 chapters are known as Rasa Pancha Dhyaya. The 47th chapter of the 10th canto is this description known as Brahmara Gita. So we'll come across all that. So, chapter 1 of Canto 10. The Advent of Lord Krishna. Introduction. This chapter describes how Kamsa, frightened by hearing an omen, about his being killed by the eighth son of Devaki, kills Devaki's sons, one after the other. So, when Sukadeva Goswami finished describing the dynasty of Yadu, as well as the dynasties of the moon and sun god, Parikshit Maharaj requested him to describe Lord Krishna, who appeared with Balaram, Baladev, in the Yadu dynasty, and how Krishna performed his activities within this world. Krishna is transcendental, the king said, and therefore to understand his activities is the occupation of liberated persons. Hearing of Krishna Lila is the way by which to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Except for an animal killer or one who is following a policy of suicide, every intelligent person must strive to understand Krishna and his activities. So we are so fortunate. Krishna is very much hidden in the Vedic scriptures. Very hard to find Krishna. But somehow or other, we have this Srimad Bhagavatam, especially translated by Srila Prabhupada. He's made it accessible to everyone. And this is his glory. And we are very grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, the king's grandfather, Arjun, this is Parikshit's grandfather, Arjun, and others crossed the ocean of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, in which such commanders as Bhishma resembled great fish that could very easily have swallowed them. By the mercy of Lord Krishna, the Pandavas crossed this ocean, which was very difficult to cross, as easily as one steps over the hoof print of a calf. The king himself was saved in his mother's womb by the fiery weapon of Ashwatthama, by Lord Krishna, who entered her womb, the womb of the mother of Parikshit Maharaj, Uttara, and he protected Parikshit in the womb with his Sudarshan Chakra. Krishna was the only worshipable deity for the Pandavas. Maharaj Parikshit is eager to hear of the pastimes of Lord Krishna, and he asks Sukadeva Goswami a number of questions. How his lordship Baladev, the son of Rohini, could have appeared in the womb of Devaki? How unusual is that? He's a son of Devaki, but he's also known as a son of Rohini, Rohini Nandan. How is that possible? Why did Krishna transfer himself from Mathura to Vrindavan in the middle of the night? Was he scared? How did he live there with his family members? What did Krishna do in Mathura and Vrindavan? Why did he kill his maternal uncle Kamsa? As such killing is not at all sanctioned in the Shastras. So Parikshit is asking some tough questions. He's not mincing his words. For how many years did Krishna reside in Dwarka? How many queens did he have? He also requested Sukadeva Goswami to discuss other activities of Krishna about which he could not inquire. When Sukadeva Goswami began to speak about Christian consciousness, Maharaj Parikshit forgot the fatigue brought about by the fasting. So Sukadeva Goswami asked him, "Are you not tired? It's been so many days. You haven't eaten. You haven't drunk anything." Parikshit Maharaj said, "No, I'm not hungry. I've forgotten the fatigue caused by hunger or thirst." Enthusiastic to describe Krishna, Sukadeva Goswami said, like the waters of the Ganga, descriptions of the activities of Krishna can purify the entire universe. The speaker, the inquirer, and the audience all become purified. So we are so fortunate that this has become accessible to us. Once, when the entire world was burdened by the increasing military power of demons in the form of kings, Mother Earth assumed the form of the shape of a cow, and she approached Lord Brahma for relief. Sympathetic to Mother Earth's lamentation, Lord Brahma, accompanied by Lord Shiva and other demigods, took the cow-shaped Mother Earth to the ocean, to the shore of the Milk Ocean, where he offered prayers to please Lord Vishnu, who lay there on an island in the transcendental ecstasy. With great attention, the Devatas recited the Vedic mantras known as the Purusha Shukta. So where is this Milk Ocean? It's within this universe itself. It's known as Shwetadweep, and it's also known as Dhruvlok. And it is situated near the planets of the Saptarishis. And here, the Devatas, Lord Brahma actually, has access. And even then, they can't necessarily see the Supreme Lord, although they're praying to him. Ah, here it is. His effulgence is so bright, it blinds. If you see here, Shiva is covering his eyes. So, over 5,000 years ago, Mother Earth, being unable to bear the burden of demoniac kings, went to Brahma in the form of a cow for help. Together with the demigods, they approached Shirodakshay Vishnu. That's his name. He's like Paramatma. There's three Vishnus. One Vishnu breathes out, all the universes come out of the pores of his skin. Second Vishnu enters into every single universe. And then the third Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, enters into every single living entity, Paramatma. So they went on to the ocean of milk at his Svetdweep planet in this world. This is a spiritual planet, not a material planet like ours. And a very good thing to learn. The avatars approach the Lord with great humility and respect, understanding that he is their only protector and guide. We similarly should remain humble and respectful in all situations. So this is the spiritual and material worlds. This is the overview. Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan, Ayodhya, Vaikuntha, Brahmajyoti, then we have Shivalok, and then our material world. So a little bit more detail on that. Our material world, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, from him, the lotus flower on top of whom Lord Brahma is born. And then here we have Shirodakshay Vishnu, his planet. Dhruvlok, or the pole star, is the abode of Shirodakshay Vishnu within this material world. Upon it, there is an ocean of milk, and within that ocean there is an island known as Shwetadweep. Shirodakshay Vishnu as Paramatma, Supersoul, is situated in everyone's heart and within every atom. And there, Lord Lakshmi Devi massages the feet. The demigods offered the Purusha Shukta prayers of glorification to appease the Lord. These prayers are in the Rig Veda and explain the Virat Purush, in 18 verses. The universal form of the Lord. Lesson to learn: the Devatas are very powerful beings in this world, but they also pray to the Supreme Lord for his kind protection. We must also pray very regularly that the Lord allows us to remember him at all times. Brahma thereafter understood the advice of Mahavishnu. So Lord Vishnu spoke within the heart of Brahma, who informed him that he would appear on the surface of the earth to mitigate the burden created by the demons. It's a really wonderful picture, this one. Lord Vishnu communicated directly to Brahma with the message that he will descend in the Yadu dynasty family and that the Devatas should take birth on earth to assist him in his pastimes. A lesson, really nice lesson. When our hearts is pure, like Brahma's, then we will be able to hear the Lord's guidance because he is always in our heart. Our hearts become pure by chanting the Lord's holy names. The demigods, along with their wives, should appear there as associates of Lord Krishna in the family of Yadu to increase the sons and grandsons in that dynasty. By the will of Lord Krishna, Anantadev, that's Balaram, would appear first as Balaram, just to please the Supreme Lord Krishna in his transcendental pastimes. And Krishna's potency, Yogamaya, or Vishnu Maya, that's Subhadra, would also appear. Brahma informed Mother Earth about all this, and then he returned to his own abode. Surasen, the chief of the Yadu dynasty and father of Vasudeva, had gone to live in the city of Mathura. Since that time, the city of Mathura had been the capital of all the kings of the Yadu dynasty. The city and district of Mathura was very intimately connected with Krishna, for Lord Krishna lives there eternally. After marrying Devaki, Vasudeva was returning home with her. Kamsa, the son of King Ugrasen, in order to please his sister Devaki, on the occasion of her marriage, took charge of the reins of the horses and became the chariot driver. This is a tradition. The brother would take the reins of the sister's carriage. All of a sudden, when an anonymous voice addressed Kamsa, warning him, "You foolish rascal, the eighth child of the woman you are carrying will kill you." Upon hearing this omen, taking his sword in his right hand, Kamsa was immediately ready to kill Devaki. But Vasudeva diplomatically began to instruct him. This is Kamsa, ready to kill even his own sister. When he heard the omen, Vasudeva, the son of Surasen, was with his newlywed wife, Devaki, in a chariot driven by Kamsa, when a voice from the sky told Kamsa that their eighth son would kill him. Kamsa was very angry, prepared to kill Devaki, his cousin. But Vasudeva stopped him by promising to bring the children to Kamsa when they were born. So there's a lesson to learn from this. Life can throw very challenging situations at us. Keeping a cool head and being devoted to the Lord, Vasudeva cleverly convinced evil comes not to kill his wife. Very good lesson to learn. Vasudeva tried to pacify Kamsa by advising him that he stressed that it would not be good for Kamsa to kill his younger sister, especially at a time of a marriage, as he is the pride of the Bhoja dynasty, and great heroes praised his qualities. How could such a qualified person kill his own sister? So he's trying to appeal to the moral character of Kamsa. Anyone who possesses a material body must die. Vasudeva addressed him. Every living entity lives in a body for some time and then transmigrates to another body. But one is unfortunately misled into accepting the body as the soul. This is our big problem in this world. We think that we are the body, but we're not. We're the soul inside the body. If a person under this mistaken conception wants to kill another body, he is condemned to hellish life. Such envious, impious activities cause a body in which one suffers in his next life. Why should one act impiously? As his younger sister, the poor girl Devaki is like his own daughter and deserves to be affectionately maintained and should not kill her. But he should be affectionate. Because Kamsa, being a demon, not caring for the consequences of sinful behavior, was not satisfied by Vasudeva's instructions. Vasudeva devised a plan. In order to save Devaki's life and avoid the immediate threat, he offered to bring Kamsa all of Devaki's children so that Kamsa would kill them. Why then should Kamsa kill Devaki now? Kamsa was satisfied by this proposal. He knew Vasudeva was a man of his word, having faith in the words of Vasudeva. In the course of time, Devaki gave birth to a child. Vasudeva was very disturbed by fear of being a liar by breaking his promise. Thus, with great pain, he delivered the firstborn son, named Kirtiman, into the hands of Kamsa. Kamsa, upon seeing Vasudeva's magnanimity, was struck with wonder. How can this father bring his child for me to kill? When Vasudeva gave Kamsa the child, Kamsa, showing some intelligence, said, since he was to be killed by the eighth child, why should he kill the first? Although Vasudeva did not trust him, Kamsa requested Vasudeva to take the child back. Later, however, after Narad approached Kamsa and disclosed to him that the demigods were appearing in the Yadu and Vrishni dynasties, and how the demoniac persons who were a great burden on the earth would be killed, fearing his death, Kamsa decided that any child born from the womb of Devaki must be killed. So Narad Muni, why did he do that? Well, these children were actually cursed to die at a young age. So he fulfilled that desire that they were meant to be killed at a young age. First six children, anyway. Thus he arrested and imprisoned both Devaki and Vasudeva and killed six of their children, one after another. Narad also informed Kamsa that in his previous life, Kamsa was Kalanemi, a demon killed by Vishnu. Consequently, Kamsa became a great enemy to all the descendants of the Yadu Vamsh, the Yadu dynasty. He even arrested and imprisoned his own father, Ugrasen, for Kamsa wanted to enjoy the kingdom alone. This is the madness of this fellow. Vasudeva kept his word. He gave the first son to Kamsa, but Kamsa let them go as only the eighth was to kill him. But Narad told Kamsa, you may be counting wrong. So Kamsa killed the sons one by one as they were born. Vasudeva and Devaki were put in prison. The seventh child was transferred to Rohini. So the lesson from that, the wicked people can be very cruel. So be careful to associate with worldly-minded people. They can do anything for sense enjoyment. So that's the end of the first chapter. We can stop there. Any questions, any comments, please?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Naniman.
Since the milk ocean is in this material world, when everything gets annihilated, does it get annihilated, or Kshirodakshai Vishnu merges with the Mahavishnu?
So what happens at the end of Brahma's life?
Yes.
All the planets go back into the body of Mahavishnu, the original Vishnu, Karanadaksha Vishnu.
Yeah.
And they remain in his body for a whole breath, 311 trillion years. And then again, when he breathes out, everybody comes out. And they are in the position that they were when the annihilation took place. That same position they take again.
Yeah.
They continue. In terms of Vishnu,
what about, what about Vishnu?
Yeah, they merge. So Kshirodakshaya Vishnu merges into Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who merges into Karanadakshaya Vishnu. Yeah. And then as soon as he breathes again, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes out, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu comes out.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. Very good. Very nice question. Okay, let's stop there. Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto ki jai, Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai.